In this video, we will look at how to use the Stealthbits products to understand who has access to your data and what they're doing with that access. To begin, I will use the Stealthbits web application and navigate to the Access tab. This gives you the ability to drill into several different areas and understand the access to your resources. I will start with the resource audit, which gives you the ability to navigate any of the resources that you've collected data for with our product. You can see I have selected here our file systems, but I have several other resources that I've audited with the product. If I expand and look at a particular file system here, I have the ability to see all of the shared folders and click on any folder to see the permissions applied. I can see that this shared folder has several groups that are from Active Directory, as well as local groups and security principals, as well as domain users directly assigned. I can also see the relevant permissions as far as the rights that they have and the NTFS representation of those rights. If I want to understand who has access to this shared folder, I will need to understand all the nested group relationships and overlay those rights to see who can really do what. Our product does that for you with the Effective Access report. By clicking on Effective Access, I can see a concise listing of every user and group that has access to this shared folder and exactly what rights they have. And if I wanted to pick on an individual user, I can pick on that user and down below see exactly how Bob is getting rights to full control on this marketing share. And that's through a variety of permissions, most notably through membership in the domain admins group. You can run this report on any level down the file system hierarchy or other resource hierarchy. The next question you might want to understand after you look at who has access and permissions to your resources is who is actually taking advantage of that access and performing activity events. By looking at the activity statistics report, you can run an activity report on any given time range to see the users that have been active on that shared folder, how many reads, how many writes, and other operations that they've performed. Down below, you can see trends of how much activity there's been over time and the different types of activity. If you want to see the granular details of the specific events that have occurred, you can use the activity details report to see for that same time range exactly which files have been touched by whom and exactly when. That gives you a complete trail of every activity event that's occurred on this resource. Now that you understand for a resource who has permissions, what access that results in, and what activity has been performed, the next question you may want to ask is, if you take an individual user or group, what access do they have across all of the audited resources? You can use our search interface here to quickly look up a user like Bonnie and see everything that Bonnie has access to. Here's all of Bonnie's group memberships, whether that's in local groups on Windows servers, Active Directory domain groups, SharePoint groups, or any other groups that have been audited. You can also see any permissions that Bonnie has across all of the audited resources. And if you want to see Bonnie's activity, you can choose an activity report for Bonnie to see everything that Bonnie's touched in whatever time range you want to specify, the exact folders and other resources that she's been active on, and of course you can use the activity details report to see those specific details of which files Bonnie has touched. That covered how to get a comprehensive oversight of your security, your effective access, and understand who has been active with activity on your audited resources using the Stealthbits product.